The Fair Play Alliance, a cross-industry initiative focused on fostering fair play in online games, has announced it will return for the 2019 Game Developers Conference next month with an all-day Fair Play Summit. This year the summit will be expanded in size due to its popularity at GDC 2018. Over 90 gaming companies are part of the field, including Blizzard Entertainment, Korean, Discord, Electronic Arts, Epic Games, Riot Games, Roblox, Rovio, Supercell, Twitch, Torrent Security, Ubisoft, Unity, and Wellbe.com. Together, the FPA supports game developers through sharing and developing best practices for helping games become a space free of abuse and discrimination, while supporting awesome player interactions through design. There will be an entire day of Fair Play Summit talks on Wednesday, March 20th, 2019 from members of the Alliance guests. In addition, the summit will be recorded and archived for later free viewing on the GDC. Attendees can expect presentations with a focus on sharing of best practices, design pillars and actionable frameworks as takeaways. Topics include: if you are looking to learn more about the Fair Play Alliance, please visit its official website. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or Gamasutra and GDC are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Zach Barth announced the creation of a KICKSTATCAMPAGNEALIER today to help fund a book filled with design documents from all of Zachtronics games, as well as unreleased titles titled Zach-like. This collection could be a neat opportunity for fellow developers interested in learning about the behind-the-scenes for multiple games, including Shenzhen 901 Exapunks, according to the Kickstarter campaign, which has already exceeded its $5,000 goal. The book does not contain much narrative history or any theories of game design, but should be thought of as a record of the Zachtronics design process in action. The 400-page book is also estimated to contain 90% pictures and 10% text, as explained in the campaign. After everyone who backs the project receives a physical copy of the book, Barth intends to release a PDF for free at some point as well. Interested developers can check out the Kickstarter for Zach-like here. This post was originally published on @Ryan.C's blog, Making Moves. After completing my 3-part series, Designing a Production Process, over 2 years ago, I have since felt that it could be helpful to go a bit deeper on setting up your task-based database to support this process in a few key areas. It's a very practical way to start turning something hypothetical into a tangible reality. So, before moving on, I definitely suggest reading the original series, but I do not think it's necessary. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Most game devs I speak to today are using Jira to track their tasks and bugs. Jira definitely gets the job done. But man, is the administration of that database a pain in the ass. First of all, the interface. It's super confusing to navigate the admin pages. And related to this first point, there's too much crap packed into Jira, making it extremely difficult to find the features that are actually useful. Discoverability is not a thing. I think the best immediate improvements to Jira would be stripping it down to an essentials-only version. That said, my suggestion for you is to avoid Jira and opt for something like Outcheck. I think the best way to describe Outcheck is Jira Lite, which is perfect, cause Jira is way too damn heavy. I find it has everything I need and almost everything I want. Not to mention, there's a free version for us small indies. Xerox is actually one of the few ubiquitous pieces of software used for game development that does not have a free version for small teams. The screenshots I will be referencing below are from ULCheck, but they should apply directly to Jira since there's always going to be an equivalent there, and most others should check in databases as well. Here's a complete list of all the field types I currently need to check issues for my project that expands upon part 2 of the original series. I may add a couple more as the project progresses demands, but I think this is a good baseline, and you should seriously consider culling fields you are not utilizing. It's that much more of a pain in the ass to create a new issue if you have to navigate through a bunch of unused fields. Nobody likes spending time in an issue tracking database, so it's your job to ensure the experience is as frictionless as possible. Note that I have specifically highlighted the feature, field, and the naming convention for defining the features, parent feature, sub-feature. In Jira, you might just want to use a cascading select list. Some sub-features have a prefix in them. This denotes a sub-feature as a supporting feature. As an example, AI perception is a supporting feature that all line units utilize. However, iSeeker is a proper I unit, and is therefore not a supporting feature for the parent feature. If you sort alphabetically, the supporting features will rise to the top and instances follow after that. I find this convention to really help with the organization. And if you think maintaining an issue database is anything but an exercise in being organized, you are wrong. This naming convention also fits into my template when writing up the summary. Issued, they all follow this pattern. Parent feature, sub-feature summary of issued, iSeeker incorporated raise the weapon fire rate, engine, optimization evaluate frame rate spikes, health bar make it blink when health is low. I like this convention for the summary, because although the parent feature and sub-feature are set in other fields, having them represented in the summary ensures there's always going to be a baseline level of detail. When creating reports on the database, it's very common that reports only reference the summary field and nothing else. See below for the links I display in my Agile board. This will look familiar if you read through part 1 of the original series. You will notice I am not totally eating my own dog food by assigning time estimates to all these tasks. I am the only developer on this particular project, and it does not have a proper release timeline yet, so I should probably be more disciplined. But that's my bad excuse. Make sure you add estimates if you actually have a team W deadlines. I spend most of my time planning projects by evaluating a series of dashboards that are organized by feature under one special dashboard that is tailored for the current user called My Dashboard. I will start with this special one that should be the first browser tab everyone opens when they begin work for the day. My Dashboard summarizes all open issues in the database that are assigned to you. Widgets in the left column are some interesting ways I like to slice the data. If you are familiar with part 3 of this original series, you will note that the idea of displaying current sprint, next sprint, and future sprints falls in line with laying down 3 sets of train tracks before you hit the contained chaos. The backlog dashboards are the one area where ULCheck falls short of what I want, but they do provide everything I need. Specifically, you cannot customize the fields displayed in the issue lists, and you cannot dynamically sort the list with a simple click of the column header. Jira does this and it's way nicer evaluating the dashboards in this way. They also allow for some custom coloring of widgets. These are some nice features. But do not break my workflow in UITrack, and the simplified experience overall is worth missing out on them. These are organized much like my dashboard, but the backlog portion is broken down per feature. Every single parent feature has its own dashboard. Here's an example of one in my project. The last thing I do like to call out is the estimation report in UITrack. It's crazy useful for reevaluating how packed someone's schedule is for a given sprint, and is exactly what you should be reviewing in the schedule resolution meeting, described in part 1 of this series. Here's where you create one in UITrack. Here's what they actually look like. Remember, this project is just me, but it will display your entire team with the right filter. If you can utilize UITrack in the ways I have described above, you are gonna have a pretty great tool set for implementing a pro-level production process. Hope this addendum helps your project just a little bit more. Guild Wars 2 Unleashed second publisher Newsoft have laid off an unknown number of staff at its mobile gaming division, Iron Tiger Studios. A Captain spokesperson confirmed the news to VentureBeat, but stopped short of revealing exactly how many employees had been let go. Newsoft established Iron Tiger back in 2015, and tasked the California-based studio with developing original mobile games inspired by its existing franchises.